yoga friends, I'm Sarah Mapes. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's practice is designed to ease pain in the arches of your feet. Our bodies are so interconnected. The arches of our feet are primarily supported by muscles and bones, but they're also significantly supported by ligaments, tendons, and fascia, the connective tissue of our body. Tightness in our feet's deep fascia can also manifest as tight hamstrings or even low back pain or neck pain. Today's practice is going to work the arches of your feet and our hamstrings while also incorporating some small bits for our low backs and our necks. Let's get started. Coming to badha konasana, bound angle pose. Going to take a tennis ball. You could use any ball or something that will roll between your feet here. Take the ball. What we want to do is massage the fascia of the arches of our feet, this section in here. So we're going to do that. You can even place your hands back behind you by rolling the ball back and forth between your 2 feet. If it's more comfortable, you could do 1 foot at a time, rolling back and forth with your hands, or you could even do this standing up, rolling your foot over a ball, a golf ball, a tennis ball, even a rolling pin, something round that rolls. Just trying to massage our foot fascia. And it feels so good. Okay. Then when you're ready to put your tennis ball or your golf ball or whatever you're using away, come onto all fours so that your hands are firmly underneath your shoulders and your knees are about hip width apart underneath your hips. The tops of our feet are on our mat here. Let your breath lead the movement. Inhale, lower your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lower your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lower your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine. Cat-cow is wonderful for both your back and your neck. And we're also working our feet here. One more time. Inhaling, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine. Tuck your back toes under and stretch your arms out long, coming into puppy pose, sometimes called melting heart pose. You can even bring your forehead down to the mat if that feels good. Breathe into it. And then take your left arm underneath your right, twisting your shoulders. Bring your head back down to the mat here. We're threading the needle. So we're working our feet and our shoulders and neck here. Then coming back to center with both arms stretched out long. Take your right arm underneath your left, threading the needle on the other side. Then coming back through center, untuck your toes so that the tops of your toes are flat on your mat, and then come back onto your heels in a child's pose. If this is uncomfortable or not accessible, you could place some sort of pillow or bolster right here, or you could stay in our puppy pose. Also, if any of these poses are uncomfortable for your knees, you could lay a blanket underneath your knees for extra padding. And then slowly making your way back up to our tabletop position, tucking your toes under once more, lifting your hips towards the sky, coming into our first downward facing dog of the practice. So in downward facing dog, your heels might be on the mat or off. They might be lifted up. This is a wonderful downward facing dog with your heels off. Find where your down dog is. Press down firmly with both palms. Your index fingers are out in front of you. Your fingers are spread wide. And then think about moving your torso back towards your thighs. Feel this stretch all the way down into your feet, through your legs, your back, your arms, down into your hands. Full body stretch. We're definitely working our hamstrings and our feet here. Breathe into it. And then come up onto the balls of your feet and lower down towards your mat. Come up onto the balls of your feet, lower down towards your mat. Lift up, lower down. Lift up, lower down. Looking forward towards your hands, step your feet to the front of your mat. You can just hang here for a moment if that feels good, maybe swaying from side to side. Letting your head feel heavy, grounding down firmly with your feet, spreading your toes. And then lifting all the way up to standing. Nice. Okay. Take a moment, standing in Tadasana, our mountain pose, to stand with your feet about hip width apart, spreading your toes, feeling into your feet, rocking forward and backwards. Forward onto your toes, back into your heels, through your whole foot. And then from here, we'll take a hamstring stretch. Grounding down firmly with your left foot, spreading your toes, feeling your whole foot working to support your body. Lift your right foot back behind you and take hold of your right foot with your right hand, feeling this stretch in your leg. Find your drishti, or spot to gaze at, that will help you to balance. Balancing on our feet uses the arches of our feet and gets our feet working. So balancing is a really good practice. We're going to do a little bit more of it here in a moment. Releasing your right foot, bringing it back down to your mat, spreading your toes, grounding down firmly using your whole right foot. Bring your left foot back, feeling the stretch in your left leg. And depending on where you pull your foot, you might feel a foot stretch here too. Find your drishti, your spot to gaze at. And then release your foot. Maybe giving your feet a little wiggle. Doing what feels good here. The next pose that we're going to do is tree pose. We're going to use 2 different blocks. We'll do this a couple of different times. So again, going with the concept of balance being good for our feet, we're going to stand on the block. So using a solid block, either a wood or a cork block like I have now, is going to create more stability. But a foam block is going to make your foot work a little bit harder to find your balance. So stepping up on your block, grounding down firmly with your foot, finding the stability in this pose, then bring your right foot up to tree. And that might be a really low tree today, even if you have a strong one where your foot is usually up on your thigh. Because of the additional work of being on the block, you might find that low is the right spot to be. If you're comfortable, then you could bring your foot all the way up to your thigh. Remembering the only place that we really don't want our foot is down here by our knee. We don't want to put pressure on our knee. So finding your drishti, your spot to gaze at, and working to find your balance. Take a few breaths in tree. You have got this. It's fun to stand on a block and make things just a little bit more challenging. But your foot is working harder here. You're using the arches of your feet to balance. Take a few breaths. If you're wobbly, embrace the wobbles. It's okay. Your foot's still working. And then come down, switch sides, grounding down firmly with your right foot, finding your drishti, your spot to gaze at, and then finding your tree on the other side. Again, down low is a really good place to be. And it might be different from one side to the other side. You might be able to have an up high tree on one side and be like, not so much on the other. Our balance is different from side to side. Work with your body wherever it is today. Love and appreciate your body. And then coming off of the cork block, we'll try this with a foam block. of a challenge for your foot, but a good challenge. It's good for your foot. So pressing firmly down on your block with your left foot, spreading your toes, feeling the grounded stability. Maybe you just stand with your foot off the ground. Maybe this is enough today, and this is a good place to be. If you're ready to continue into your tree pose, maybe you stay in a low tree with the foam block. And if you'd like to try coming up further, feel free. It's yoga, you get to experiment and have fun, and if you fall, then just try again. It's all part of the process. Have a little fun. Find your drishti, your spot to gaze at. Feel your foot wiggling and making adjustments to find the balance here. That's what it's supposed to be doing. Breathe into it. Coming off of your block, switching sides, maybe giving your foot a little wiggle and a shake. And then pressing firmly down with your right foot, spreading your toes. Maybe you just keep your foot hovering right off the mat with the foam block. That is a good place to be. And if you want to continue into tree pose, find where your tree is today. Take a few breaths here. Let your foot work to correct and find the balance. The arches of your feet are working here. Then coming off of your block, giving both feet a little wiggle, a little shake. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands down on your mat and step your feet back to a downward facing dog. Feeling into your legs and your feet. Think about moving your torso back towards your thighs. Breathing into our downward facing dog. And then from here, come down onto your knees. You might want your blocks for this next pose. So with your left toes tucked under, bring your right foot out in front of you. And we're going to stretch out our legs. So I'll take the block and move it over here so you can see I've got my right leg straight and my left knee is down on the mat and my left toes are tucked under. So you can use blocks to support yourself here. They might be on the tallest setting where your hands are holding on, or you might have them lower, or maybe you don't want to use blocks. Any or all of the above are fine. Experiment and find what works the best for you. And flex your foot and point your foot. Flex, point. Flex, point. Flex, point. Nice. Now we're going to change legs. So this time we'll bring our right leg back, toes tucked under, left leg is coming forward. Feeling into the stretch. Point your foot, flex your foot. Point, flex. Point, flex. Point, flex. Then setting your blocks over to the side. Come to a sitting position. Bringing your legs out long in front of you. Take a moment to sit up tall. Your hands are next to your body. Your shoulders are coming down. Shoulder blades are moving slightly closer together and down your back. Sit up tall in Dandasana. And then flex and point your toes together. Bring your right knee out to the side so that your right foot is coming into your left thigh. For janu sirsasana, inhale your arms up, exhale, forward fold. You can place your hands down on your mat, or you can reach forward towards your foot. Feel where in your foot it would be comfortable for you, or if it's comfortable for you. Do what works and is best for your foot. Folding forward. Coming back up to a sitting position, take your right foot out long in front of you. Bend your left knee out to the side, bringing your left foot into your right thigh. Might be further out, that's okay. Wherever you find the right spot for your body is the right place to be. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, walk your hands forward, coming into a forward fold. Lifting up, coming back into a sitting position. Leave both feet flat on your mat and lay down on your back. Take your right ankle across your left knee and then take your hands and interlace them on the back of your left thigh, maybe bringing your left thigh up towards your torso just a little bit. If you want to intensify this stretch, then you could push out with your right elbow. Breathe into it. And then bringing both feet down to the mat, take your left ankle across your right knee and then interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. And then releasing both feet down to the mat. Take your left leg out long on the mat and bring your right knee across your body, maybe holding it down with your left hand, and bring your right arm out to the side and take your gaze over to the right. Supine twists are really good for your low back. Coming back through center, take your right leg out long and bring your left knee up and take it across your body, maybe holding onto it with your right hand. Take your left arm out to the side and take your gaze over to the left side. Coming back to center, hug your knees into your chest. And then slowly make your way up to a comfortable seat. Maybe you choose to sit on a blanket here, maybe not. Just find a way that you're sitting comfortably. Maybe you sit on a block. And then once you find that comfortable seated position, take one foot over onto your knee. We're going to do some foot massage. With pain in your arches, doing regular foot massage is therapeutic and wonderful, even if it's just rubbing a tennis ball over it. Right now, we're going to take our thumbs and start at the bottoms of our feet and slowly walk the thumbs up our foot. I'm actually going to turn so that the camera can see what I'm doing on the foot. So I'm taking my thumbs and walking them gently up my foot. And then take the palm of your left hand, whatever palm is the opposite of whatever foot you're working, and then start to move it in a circular motion up the arches of your feet. You could also extend this out and do it to your heels or to your toes if that feels good. Right now we're just focusing on working through the arches. And then take a moment to flex your foot and to point your foot. Then bringing your foot back to that neutral position. Take the fingers of your left hand and slide them between your toes, creating a little bit of space there between your toes. And then bending your toes back towards the top of your foot. Coming back. We'll do the other side. So you could do this in a chair. You could do this in whatever comfortable sitting position you're comfortable in, just so that you have your foot up and have access to it. Taking the thumbs, walking them up your foot. And then with the palm of my right hand this time, I'm going to move in a circular motion, working my way up the arch of my left foot. This is the yummy part of our practice today. I hope it feels good to your foot. It's feeling good to mine. Just keep that circular motion going through your foot. And then taking your fingers, sliding them through between each toe so that there's space. And then bending your toes just a little bit towards the top of your foot. Coming back. Take a moment to flex your foot, point your foot. And feel free to massage your foot as long as feels good. For Shavasana today, we're going to do legs up the wall, viparita karani. We're going to take a variation of this pose where our feet come into, where our legs come into a V. This will give the inner muscles of our thighs a gentle stretch that will hopefully ease pain in the arches of our feet. So find where it's most comfortable for you to be. This would be a wonderful pose to even do in your bed. Face, let everything in your body relax. If you're able to stay for 8 minutes in this pose, it will give the blood in your legs time to totally recirculate, so you have fresh blood in your legs. I invite you to stay for the full 8 minutes. If you're ready to come out, bring feeling back to your hands. Bring your legs down, rolling over onto one side. making your way up to a seated position. All my props are in my way. Bringing your palms to heart center. Take a moment and feel gratitude for your feet, for all the things that they do for us, all the places that they take us, all the hard work that they do. Even when they hurt, they're still doing a lot of wonderful things for us. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. If you like this practice, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I'd love to hear your comments and see what other things you'd like to work on together, and I'll incorporate them into our practices together. I'll see you on the mat again soon. Thanks.